How's it going, everybody? I am back in Fallout 4, and finally back at Somerville Place. Gonna be building here again. Took a small breakaway, but it wasn't because I was like tired of this place or anything like that. I was just trying to take care of some other things. Uh, Creation Club had that update, obviously. That I uploaded that video. Uh, when that came out, the day that it was released. And then I did a build challenge for Cordless VII's server, or Cordless 7. I don't know if he goes by Cordless 7 or not. I've literally heard other people call him Cordless VII, so I'm not even sure. We'll just go with that. But either way, I did a build challenge. Essentially, it was just build up Red Rocket as a tavern and inn. So I did that. That was pretty fun. I really enjoyed doing that. I've done previous build challenges on his Discord server, but I just entered old settlements of mine just because I thought that they were like worthy of like putting up to see how they like fared against others' builds, and I didn't do well. I did all right against some people, but there's a lot of really really good builders on that server. It's a really good place to get some good YouTube channels to watch. Just so you guys know, it's also really great community. So I would suggest going on the server because I always have a good time talking to those guys and ladies over there. And they're always pretty cool about everything, and they give you some like good feedback on your builds. You can share builds, you can see others' builds shared. They've got servers that are just like, or they've got different like rooms that are just for like Fallout 4 settlement building, just for Fallout 4 stuff that's just for like general talking to people that are kind of into the same YouTube channel as you. So I mean, it's just a really cool community. And I wanted to build something for the monthly challenge that they have, and this month's challenge was Tavern Touch Up at Red Rocket. So yeah, just turn it into a tavern with like an inn and everything, with rooms and a nice area for the people that run the place and everything like that. So that's what I did, and I thought that it turned out pretty cool. Voting shouldn't have happened yet. I think it's the 16th that it ends. I'd have to check again, but whenever that does, I'll keep you guys updated, I guess. I really don't know. You'll probably hear from me whenever it does happen. If I win, at least. If I lose, I mean, it's no big deal. I've already lost 2 months in a row. So, wouldn't be really winning or losing anything. Or it wouldn't be a big deal if I lost again. There's a lot of really talented builders on that server. But this build, I'll get back to this build. So I wanted to build a barn, and so I had someone suggest this. I don't remember who it was, and I'm sorry that I didn't check that before. I really wish I had. I'm sorry. But someone had suggested that I build a barn. I'd wanted to anyway, but just hearing someone else like, hey, you should build a barn here, it kind of is like a confirmation that, yeah, I should do that. So that's the reason I built it like immediately after you guys suggested it, essentially. So this is going to be where the Brahmin for the settlement are. It's going to have like the main suggestion I think that I added onto this that wouldn't have been on it otherwise is I add like a milking station, which is something I've never even thought about doing. But I think that milk's in the game now, considering, or since the Slocum's Joe Creation Club thing. I think they added milk as something that you can actually like drink and get in the game. So I'm not sure how you actually get it, but it's a thing that you can actually get. And I wish that I had some and like for decoration and stuff, but I didn't. But it's no big deal. I put like buckets down and milk bottles that are empty. You can't tell if they're full or empty anyway, so it's no big deal. I couldn't get this floor to snap back in. I don't know. Oh, I accidentally picked it up with Place Anywhere and then it wouldn't snap back in. But essentially, this is going to be like a multi-leveled shack or barn, I guess. This side is like really well supported because this was the sort of repaired half of the building that it had pretty much fallen apart on this corner, and they tried to reconstruct it and also add on to it. So the entrance is on, there's a door to the actual farm, and then there's going to be this exit right here, which is essentially just a hole in the wall that leads up the hill, essentially. And I'm going to have a little, like, guard post type of thing up here. That's all I'm doing right here. That's what I've been doing for the last couple minutes in the video, because this part took me forever, because it's a lot of falling off and grabbing pieces and moving through the menus and grabbing another piece and falling off and grabbing Place Anywhere. And just, it took forever. Way too long just to build floor. But speaking of taking too long, all of my videos recently have all been like 20 minutes long at least. And I'm really going to try to cut it down, try to make shorter videos. I like making shorter videos. It's just, I know people are going to drop off before I even get close to 20 minutes. So that's my main thing, is I want people to see my actual build, and like showing that I like to show you guys how I build. I think that that's like an important thing to do. But whenever like people don't watch the full video, like there's not really a huge like reason to show you. I don't know. It's kind of just discouraging to show the full build video. I'd like show you how I build it, and then like I know that people aren't going to watch it. So I know that there's some people that will, and I understand not wanting to sit down and watch 25 minutes of this and me just ramble on and stutter and stammer for 25 minutes straight. But it's I mean, I want you guys to see how I build things, and I want to hear feedback, and I want to hear all like what you guys think of the builds and everything. But it's just a lot of work, I guess. I don't know. I've felt not necessarily discouraged from uploading recently. I've just felt like I put a lot of work into like my YouTube videos, because the building on Fallout 4 takes forever. Like this is 25 minutes, and a good like 20 minutes of this is building, and it's in double speed. So that's 40 minutes cut in the middle. So like there's going to be stuff that's like cut out, me like decorating afterwards as well. For that build challenge just the other day, I literally, so for the last like 3 months I've been on like the night shift at work. So my schedule's been pretty messed up. Uploading's been like really tough for the last couple of months because I try to record when I can, but on the shift that I've been on, I work 12-hour shifts. So it's just, I don't have a whole lot of time outside of work, so to record, it's like it takes a lot of my time, and I have to record a lot of videos at once just to be able to like keep up with the schedule that I've made for myself. Uh, and I want to keep up with that schedule just because like it I don't know, it feels like a challenge to myself to like stay on a schedule or something like that. Uh, but it's just really difficult. It should be getting easier here soon. I'm gonna be off of night shifts and I'll be working like a regular work day again. But essentially, the other day, because since I'm switching back to my day shift at work, uh, I have had like a few days off, and whenever I recorded that Fallout 4, that challenge video, I literally decorated, lost like half of my build because of save issues, rebuilt everything, redecorated everything. I didn't rebuild everything. I rebuilt a lot of stuff. Uh, but I did redecorate everything afterwards again. I rebuilt at least the tavern or at least like the outdoor area of the tavern and the garden and the living area for the employees. But I essentially lost like 3 hours of work because it took like 3 hours to do all of that. And that's like to make that whole build and record it and edit it and everything. I literally spent like 8 or 9 hours doing everything just to do that challenge because I knew I had time, uh, and I knew I wouldn't most other days. So I spent a lot of time on Fallout 4 videos, and yeah, I don't even remember where I started with this. I just started ranting. I'm sorry if that's not something that you guys come here for, but it's kind of hard not to rant sometimes. I'm sure that everybody else rants sometimes, and I just don't. I usually don't talk about anything about myself, I don't think. I do sometimes, I guess, but not very often about issues that I have with uploading and the schedule that I've made for myself. It's just a lot of work. A lot of work, and I don't have a whole lot of time. And this game doesn't make it any easier on me. But yeah, like this build was, a pretty complicated build actually, uh, because it's such a blend of different things, and I try to make it as smooth as possible. Like it goes from the really really junky, like barely thrown up walls, with the guard posts up on the roof or whatever, or just a lookout area or something like that, a nice little view, to like where the actual barn was that's now like partially buried. And then eventually, after I finish that, I end up adding this wall on the back because there's a huge gap between the junk wall on the left and the barn wall, or the warehouse wall on the right. But after I do this, I end up making it even like scrappier on the right of this barn section. So it's like that was the only section standing, and then up there was standing a little bit, and they just kind of added on to it. But I think that overall, this is probably one of my more interesting builds and more like complicated and just different because I use so many different parts from so many different sections of the build menu where I feel like typically I use just a lot of wood. That's how this game is, just because there's so many options in the wood section, and there's not really a whole lot of like other options in every other section. With USO, of course, like you can get multiple like retextured metals, different barn pieces and different warehouse pieces and all sorts of stuff. But like I feel like I always just default to wood because there's like 7 different wooden walls, and I feel like they could have done a better job at adding more just like basic texture walls for like the metal section, or because the metal section I think has like 3 or 4 walls in total, and then they've got the retextured ones from USO they didn't even make. But uh, this was a more complicated build essentially. Right here, I'm moving on to the scrappier section of the build. Like I said, besides the other side, this side is also scrappy. I don't know what I'm even doing with this floor here. I think I'm just using it as a guide to add that wall on so straight. I don't know why I didn't just delete it when I placed it. And then I moved it down now that it's a little bit more straight. And that's essentially just so I can end up with a better shape of the building, because I want it to look like just an angle down, and I don't want to use these flat roofs. I think I just used the flat roof originally in an attempt to get the more angled roof to like clip on or snap on, and I was trying to see right there if I could make it maybe blend so that the textures didn't mash, and I could maybe make the roof go all the way down to the bottom floor and then be flat. But I'm really glad that I didn't do that, because right here I grab the angled roof from the wood section, the metal roof, and I place it, and it lines up like pretty well with where the roof for, so like I look at it right there, there's not like a bunch of clipping, a little bit, but not enough to really bother me that much. And then I essentially just line this one up with the wall on the right, and I try to make it flush with the roof on the left. And yeah, it doesn't look bad. Like I can fit underneath it just fine. I look at it from up here, it doesn't look awful. I realize it kind of looks like it's clipping, but it's not bad, and I thought that it actually looked really cool. I thought it was a really good like blend of the textures. But this is the section that I thought was pretty cool that somebody suggested. I'm really sorry that I forgot who it was. Uh, I always do this where someone suggests something and I forget. Uh, but this is like supposed to be like a milking station for a cow, for a Brahmin, and I add this like graded floor so that there's like a little area that they can walk on, and nothing can get like, it doesn't get like too dirty. Stuff just falls through, like if they like go to the bathroom or anything like that while they're in the pen, or if maybe the bucket spills or something, the floor is not just dirty. And then I add these boards over it to, I mean, essentially what I'm doing here is I'm just trying to make it wide enough for a Brahmin to fit in the area, and that's the width. That width works pretty much. It works for me. Uh, right here, I get the feeding trough from unlock settlement object. Oh, actually, this is in the base, or not the base game, from the Nuka World DLC in Dry Gulch. This is actually in the game though. For a second, I about said it's just from USL, but they have a feeding trough, and so I put that in there because I feel like that's something that you would have in a milking station to keep them preoccupied while you milk them. I don't know. I don't know how cattle farms work. Someone can tell me in the comments, I guess. Someone tell me how do they have feeding troughs in a dairy farm where they milk the cow in like a milking station. I don't know. But I know it's like a really tight space so that the cow can't move. Unfortunately, that's like impossible in this game because all the Brahmin does whenever I put him in there is he just glitches out every time. So I think I ended up deleting it. Oh wait, no. I think it's in the tour, but I think you can see it glitch out. Maybe. Maybe not. I recorded the tour a couple times, I think, because of that reason. So it may or may not be in the tour. Stick around to see in about 2 or 3 minutes whenever I finish this build. You'll see that there's either a Brahmin or there isn't. But right here, I'm adding a door on this side of the build because this is where I'm going to have the Brahmins, or the Brahmin pinned up, I guess. Uh, I think that it's just going to be one Brahmin for the settlement. And I think that that's all my plans are. It's one Brahmin in a fenced in area. Not with wire fence, it'll be chain link fence, so it'll be a little bit different than like a regular fenced in area where a Brahmin would be. But I end up placing down chain link all the way around the back side of the building. And right here, I was looking for a gate. I end up going with the picket fence because it's the only one that was like wide enough. It was like the perfect width. I raise it up too. But like either way, it looks super scrappy and weird and out of place, and I really like the way that it looks. I think that it looks awesome. Here's the finished tour though. I turned that around. Oh, Brahmin's gone. So I started the tour up on the roof. I've been doing that because it gives you a pretty sweet view. I haven't been doing that. I did it in this video. And then the next build video, I'm going to do the same. I do the same thing. That'll be out whenever the next video will be out after this. So if this is on a Monday, next video will be Wednesday. Then, or if it's Friday, the next video will be Monday. So I upload Monday, Wednesday, Friday pretty much. But here it is. I think it looks really scrappy and looks pretty cool. Wire fencing on this side just blends in with the building so that it looks like it's kind of just blocked off. I added a little vertical lamp, or a little lamp on the front of the building. Lantern hanging off of that. Little board down there with some buckets where they'll milk the Brahmin into. I ducked down to show. It's like the perfect height. It's pretty cool. Nice little area. Got a little bottle holder thing. I like that. The way that it's kind of got a lip. It doesn't look too shabby. Got, like I said, a bottle holder and then a bunch of milk bottles that are empty because I don't have any milk in the game. I got some potato plants in here for reasons. I wanted to have plants in here. Shelf. This is the exit that I was talking about. Got a shelf with some supplies. Bunch of supplies like laying underneath the stairwell. Then some just tools. Because you keep those in a shed, right? Like, you know, that's where you would keep it. But they've got plenty of food here. They've got Brahmin. They've got like a milking station. Huge farm, which I'll probably eventually change the crops from corn to everything. And yeah, that's the full build. This is the tour. Let me know what you guys think of this build. It'd be nice to hear what you guys think. And yeah, sorry that this became a rant video about 5 minutes in, but hey, I mean, you guys know me a little bit better now, I guess. But yeah, either way, let me know what you guys think of this build. I'd like to hear because that's what I like. I like to hear what you guys have to say about my builds. I'm sorry, whoever it was that told me the idea. I'll look it up and I'll put it in the description, or I'll put a comment or something, and I'll shout him out for the milking station. That was a good idea, and I think that it looked pretty cool. But yeah, thank you guys for watching the video. I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a good one.